Even though she was my friend, I knew that she did not deserve that man.
Poor guy. The best friend was clapping the cheeks too. The best friend was busting the cheeks as well. This chick was a WHORE. What's up, people? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Tisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman finds out that her good female friend who is engaged is cheating on her fiance. And so after thinking about it, she decided to snitch on her friend and expose her. This video is captioned "Story Time About the Time I Snitched on My Friend for Cheating on Her Fiance," which resulted in them calling off the wedding. Grab your coffees, man. Let's get it.
I snitched on one of my closest friends for cheating on her fiance.
Okay.
Story time. I had a coworker who became one of my closest friends, and she was way younger than me. She was engaged to a very good man. He was not as attractive as her. She was beautiful. But that didn't take away from what a good man he was. The closer I got to her, the more I started to, find out the more and more stuff that she was doing. And, I'm not the girl's mom. I was her friend. And I would tell her, like, hey, you shouldn't do that. Like, you're engaged. And she would tell me things like, I want to live before I get married.
I want to live before I get married.
I've never done things before. I just want to, explore a little. So the more and more I worked with her, the more and more she was doing. And I felt horrible knowing things, right? I didn't know her fiance, like we weren't friends, but I did meet him a couple of times. But because I knew that he was such a good guy and he treated her like a princess, okay? Like I just felt really bad. So one day out of nowhere, I get a DM and it's from him.
Okay.
And he simply asked me, hey, is so-and-so cheating on me? And part of me wanted to tell him like the whole truth because even though she was my friend, I knew that she did not deserve that man. Like that man did not deserve what she was doing to him. But
Can we acknowledge the fact, because earlier on, that statement of I haven't done certain things and I want to live my life before I get married. I think one of the craziest mindsets that a lot of modern women have today is this idea that before they get married, they have to get the 304 out of their system. Now, you guys know I'm not unrealistic when it comes to this particular topic. I'm very realistic. Most times you're going to meet a woman, you're just going to have to make sure that she's not so traumatized and effed up from the past that you're looking at her and saying, no, I can't do this, right? A woman's going to have an ex. She's going to have past experiences. But there's this other thing where a lot of these chicks also think that they need to be straight 304s. Not, I dated and, I had a period when I was partying. No. They think before I get married, I need to be the biggest 304 possible. If she is in that mindset, that's a woman who should not be anybody's future wife, let alone engaged, right? Let's keep listening.
all I told them was, if you're asking me, I think you already know the answer. Shortly after that, they called off the engagement. They broke up and she never spoke to me again. We never even talked about it. We never tried addressing it because I think we both knew that it was just awkward. And I don't know. At times I felt bad about it, but they're both happily married now. And if he would have never asked me, I probably would have never told them anything.
Both happily married. She's cheating on that dude too.
But the fact that he asked me and I still didn't tell him anything, I just said, like, if you're asking me, I think right? Which is kind of telling. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person he asked, and he probably got more information, and that's why, he called it off. But yeah. So am I a snitch? And would you snitch? Also, has this ever happened to you? Has someone told on you? Or have you had to ask, your partner's friends what they're doing and found out that they were cheating? Let me know, share your stories, and comment.
Listen, it is extremely rare for a woman who's friends with another woman to snitch on her after she's cheated on her boyfriend, fiance. That is very, very rare. They don't tell each other. You know what it is? It's the whole girl's girl mentality that a lot of chicks have. They have each other's backs in a lot of cases, and to the detriment of the man who they may be dating, their boyfriend. And this is just a situation where she's not cheating too. If they're both cheating, they're both going to their grave with this secret. So here's a comment that somebody left. This person said, "You did him a huge favor." Here, she actually responded back and added more to this whole situation. No more waste of time. Let's get it.
Hey guys, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about the story, and I wanted to answer some of your questions. So after all this happened, I found out through a mutual friend the real reason why they broke up. So he had a best friend, okay, who was also engaged. And they were always together, the four of them. They would go on trips together, double dates, like they were always together. And the girl I knew was really close to his fiance. And she was supposed to be like his maid of honor and all these things. Well, I guess one day he decided to go through her phone. I don't know why. And he saw messages between his best friend and her where they
Damn.
were planning to meet up. And in the conversation, I guess they explained other meetups.
Poor guy. The best friend was clapping the cheeks too. The best friend was busting the cheeks as well. This is why I always say, man, you got to be careful when you're in a relationship, not to a level of being extremely paranoid and controlling. That's not what I'm talking about. But the idea that a lot of guys have of all your male friends just continuously hanging around your chick all the time and she's part of the guys.
So they had been meeting up for a while. They had like a hotel where they were always going to. It was kind of like a regular thing. And it seemed like they both had this like, let's do all this before we get married kind of idea. So when he found this out, I guess he continued to look through her stuff and found out other things. So that's when he went into this, let me ask a couple people. You know, a lot of people would think the friend is enough. Like, why did he need to know anything else, right? But then there's other people that they really need to know everything, how, when, why, to get closure. So I think he was one of those people. So that's what started it. Okay, so regardless if I would have said anything or not, they probably were still gonna break up because how can you get over the best friend thing, right? Also, to answer some of your questions, one, no, I did not want him. Okay, like I was not jealous. I'm actually married. I was married in this time, and the person that actually told me to tell was my husband. Okay, um,
You guys hear that? The person that told her to tell was her husband. If it wasn't for him, the counsel from a man, she probably wouldn't have said anything.
I remember when I got that DM, I was so scared and I got so thrown off that the first person I told was my husband. My husband already knew some stuff that was going on. So I told him, and he's all like, you need to say something. He's like, you can't be, he's a guy. So I think he was trying to look out for the guy as well. And he was like, you can't gotta say something. You don't have to say everything, but just kind of clear your name because it does look wrong that you know and you're not saying nothing. He probably already knows. Like he got into my head, and I also knew that that was the right thing to do. Okay, two, all you guys saying that coworkers are never your friend, blah blah blah. It's actually true. I mean, a lot of us have had great coworkers that we get super close to while we're working with them, and then they leave or whatever happens and we lose contact with them. Okay, most of us don't remain close to our coworkers, but there is some people that find best friends and coworkers, like they become part of their family, which is fine too. But for the
And coworkers are the people who a lot of people out here are most likely to cheat with.
majority of the time, it's not like that. I work in HR right now, and let me tell you guys, the biggest niches are normally your friends or were your friends. Okay, so the people that are going to snitch on you are the people that know the most about you, and that's normally your friends. So yes, you shouldn't trust nobody with your stuff, and you shouldn't be doing stuff that you're not supposed to around people, period. If you really care about your friends, if someone's really, really important to you, you're not going to compromise them by doing something you're not supposed to around them. Okay, that's like you saying, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me. That's not how it should be. So all you guys saying that I wasn't a good friend, I was not a good friend, because
Wait, they're chicks talking about she wasn't a good friend for snitching. What?
I'm not going to be a good friend to that. Lastly, a lot of you guys were asking if they got married to each other. I'm sorry if I said it in a like confusing way, but no, they did not get married to each other. Literally, like about a year after all this happened, they both found someone new and, did their life. Also, I wanted to add something. This girl was the definition of a mosca muerta, okay? She was so calm, so pretty, so respectful, so sweet, so like she seemed
What did she say?
was the definition of a mosca muerta, okay?
Mosca muerta. Wonder what that is. Let's talk to our assistant, AI assistant, Miss Coffee. Miss Coffee, what is a mosca muerta in Spanish?
Moscamoida is not a standard Spanish word and does not appear in common Spanish dictionaries. It might be a misspelling or a term specific to a regional dialect, slang, or a niche context. If you have more context or an example sentence, I might be able to provide a better explanation.
All right, somebody help me out in the comment section down below. I know I probably butchered that too. I'm assuming by the way that she's talking, she was the definition of like a wife, traditional woman, or something like that. It ended up being a 304. Let's keep listening.
She was so calm, so pretty, so respectful, so sweet, so like she seemed like she wouldn't do anything bad, okay? And once I found out everything she did, it's like, wow. Like, I knew what she was doing at work, and I only knew to an extent. But I didn't know everything else. And it made me think, like, I could only imagine how much more stuff she did, right?
Damn.
So
This chick was a WHORE.
she seemed from the outside, like someone just looking at her, she seemed like a high value girl. She, like I said, just the way she presented herself, she seemed like a very good girl,
Right.
good woman. And
that's where the video ends. It just cut off right there. Crazy, 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 crazy. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Be careful out here, gentlemen. Be careful. Appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.